I think for a lot of us right now are times where we're being kind of taken deeper into deeper layers of our own heart. And we're starting to realize how deep the heartbreak actually goes. And maybe some of you, like myself, have come to see how much you've been avoiding feeling your heartbreak all the way through, and how much you've been kind of trying to keep it all together, or kind of like put the pieces back or something, without actually giving yourself to the heartbreak deep in your own being, in your own heart chakra. And so this has been a big one for me, is I've been just noticing how much hurt is in my heart, and how much I have been repressing it. And whenever we're repressing something like emotions, that takes a lot of energy. That's really exhausting. And so I've noticed, my super ego really working hard to repress the pain in my heart center. And so, this is deep work, and you might notice some extra sensitivity coming online. Like, you're getting extra sensitive, you're feeling extra tender. This has been, very evident in my own journey, how this new layer of sensitivity has come up. Like, ouch, like I just feel things so much more intensely. I've been feeling extra raw, extra opened up for, the last however long months. And so there's that combination going on right now of the unconscious parts of us, our super ego, wanting to repress what's coming up in the heart, because it's so deep. It's so painful. It can feel so sharp and so, kind of like, ouch, searing. It can feel like searing pain. So there's that repression element going on, and with that we can kind of feel sleepy sometimes, and just exhausted a lot, and just, because it's kind of like fighting, the super ego is trying to repress, but these feelings in our heart, these abandonment wounds, this heartbreak, it wants to be felt so desperately. And then the super ego so desperately is like, no, we can't feel it. So that kind of inner conflict, which is no one's fault, it's just kind of part of evolution. This can happen in chakra centers when they're opening on deeper levels. But that kind of inner conflict can be so exhausting, and it can be confusing for the mind, and the mind might not know what's going on. Like, why is this so prolonged? Why is this so intense? Why am I feeling so sensitive all of a sudden? Why am I crying all the time? Why do I feel kind of lost? Why am I losing myself in external stuff? When we open in deeper layers in our own heart, it's the biggest chakra we have. So it's going to be a big thing. It's going to be a process. And so, these things take time. It takes time to really orient to living deeper in the heart center. It takes time for the superego to release its suppression and repression mechanisms, so that we can really feel what's in the heart center all the way through, and then allow that pain, allow that suppressed heartbreak to integrate. But when we do, of course, there's just more radiance there. There's more love. There's more creative inspiration. There's more power. This power to be expansive and authentic and free. So this is a beautiful thing, but it doesn't feel beautiful a lot, It can feel like crazy pressure. Like the divine is putting pressure on us to open deeper in our heart centers, to live more from the center of our being, the center of our heart chakra. We're becoming more of a, heart-centered collective, our hearts are all opening. So I don't care where you are on the path, a greater heart opening is being asked for. And so we're all having pressure being put on us in our heart center. It feels like, I've opened really deep in the heart, and that life is like, now even more. We need your heart to come online even more fully. So this is good. This is and actually I just finished a heart opening retreat, and I was surprised by the depth of the heartbreak that I'm going through, and the layers within me that feel absolutely devastated. And so these openings that we're going through, they can be very humbling. They can bring us to our knees. And I've been brought to my knees over and over again in the last few months. And one of the gifts of that is every time I'm brought to my knees, I'm automatically praying. I'm praying for support. I'm praying for the Divine Mother to flood me with her grace. I'm praying, I'm just praying for assistance. I'm praying for a deeper connection. Sometimes the heart pain can get so intense that we just fall on our knees and we say, I give my life to you, Divine Mother. I surrender all of my personal desires to you, Divine Mother. I am your conduit. Use me as your conduit to anchor your love and your peace and your grace here in this earth realm. So for me, this pain and this heart opening has been a doorway into giving my life over to the Divine more fully, to asking the Divine to empty me out more completely so that I can be a more pure conduit for grace to flow through, so that I can be a more pure conduit for service. And so this is what's happening. And, as this happens, you're going to start to really kind of fall into or surrender into this knowing about who you really are and what you came here for. And that can mean a whole bunch of different things, but just depending on who you are and what you came here for, that can mean a variety of different things. So but as your heart opens more fully, you start to connect into who you really are. We're not who our psychological construct kind of builds up an image of who we are, or sometimes we rely on other people to tell us who we are. It's like all of that gets to fall away, and we get to actually come into contact with a deeper truth about our nature, about our essence. And then that leads the way. That nature that we open up into, that essence we open up into, as we release the layers of deeply repressed pain, that nature gets to lead the way. And that essence, that nature of who we really are, it tends to feel really trustworthy and dependable, and this kind of inner feeling of, yes, I can do this. I can fulfill my purpose here on earth, whatever that might be. And that can be a super simple purpose. Sometimes for a lot of us, it's just to be here. It's just to anchor in our vibration here on earth. For others, we might feel like it's a more kind of physical mission of, we're going to go build this thing, whatever that might be. For some of us, it's maybe being a mother or a father, wife, husband. The purpose doesn't have to be some, huge thing, but it can be. But so that's different for everyone. All right. I wrote down, you and your heart are after each other. It's like your heart wants you and you want your own heart. And it's like this wedding. It's like you really want to fall in love with your own heart, and your heart is actually yearning for your presence. You're yearning for your heart's love, and your heart is yearning for your presence. So it's like, that's something beautiful that's happening right now. When heart unification comes online, which is the result of clearing these deep layers of repressed pain and just, integrating this deep heartbreak, when this heart union and this heart unification really comes online, that's the end of seeking, it's the end of chasing, because all along you were just chasing your own love. And so when you clear the layers standing in between you and your own love, and your own love comes online, you're all the way home. There's nowhere to go. And that's a real peace, and that's something really beautiful that is coming forward for a lot of us. Yeah, I covered that. Yeah, you might feel a lot of fear in the heart center coming up to be released, just old wounds. Maybe someone recently broke your heart and there is a lot of pain about that, but as you feel through that pain, you realize, oh, this is taking me into an even deeper heartbreak, and then an even deeper heartbreak. And so the energies right now are taking us into the depths of our heart. And so let yourself fall on your knees. Let yourself crumble in the heart center. Let yourself be all the way heartbroken, because this can almost be like a death in the sense. And the deeper we go into these deaths, the more life that can come online on the other side. The deeper we go into the heartbreak, the more love that can come online, the more radiance, the more joy, the more creative inspiration that we might find on the other side. So really let yourself dive deep into the heart. Rest with the gentle lovingness in your heart. Just be with your heart. Nothing's required. The divine is doing all this alchemy for us. The only things that maybe you feel nudged to do is just to rest in your heart center. Just allow it to hurt. Have a willingness to feel the pain. The superego's repression and resistance will fall away on its own time. And even giving the superego love, the one who's afraid to feel the heart pain, it's like, what does that one need? Check in with that one too. So take good care of yourselves. Bring love to yourself. Bring patience to yourself. And yeah, enjoy the love that's coming online within yourself. I know it can be tough because before we can really feel that, we might have to be with lots of pain. But just notice, even in the pain, there might be a subtle love that you've never felt before that's here for you now. Okay, I love you guys. There's a lot of, I posted a Patreon video yesterday about my experience at the Craig Holiday Kripalu retreat. If you're interested, it's a great way to support this work. I also offer one-on-one sessions if you're feeling in need of that type of support. Okay, so much love. See you in the next video. Namaste.